Welcome back, adventurers. We are in Dubai, and that only means one thing. We are bringing to you a special extended edition of our Portofino 52. We will take you on a tour through the boat as it comes together, and all the amazing features are starting to show themselves. So kick off your shoes and come barefoot with us. We are John and Ellie, the Barefoot Doctors. Our dream boat, a Leopard 50, was taken from us in a fire. And in that loss, we found something extraordinary. We made a wish list of everything that we ever wanted in a cruising catamaran. But that boat just didn't exist. So we did the only thing that made sense. We set about to design and build it from scratch. We partnered with a visionary team at Portofino to bring a one-of-a-kind design, a fast, expeditionary aluminium catamaran to life, combining our ultimate wish list with their groundbreaking innovations. This isn't just a boat, it's a revolution in cruising, and we're taking you with us from the first spark of an idea to sailing the most breathtaking corners of the planet. So join us on this journey, because life is better barefoot. Okay guys, we have arrived. We're in Dubai again. Very excited. We're always excited to come to Dubai, aren't we?
We are, because we are going to see the Portofino 52.
You never know what you're going to find. It's like a box of chocolates, isn't it?
That's right.
But anyway, we're here in Dubai and we're at this beautiful apartment of friends of ours, and we are about 5 minutes ready to leave, and then we're going to see our beloved, aren't we?
Portofino, yep. After several months, we'll see what state she's in right now.
Yes.
We'll take you along with us.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. So let's go.
Okay, come on.
And actually, the other thing I wanted to mention was the fact that we've just arrived in Dubai, but the flight started at 2 a.m. in the morning. So international flight, we had to be there from about 10 or 11 p.m. Elizabeth got about 2 hours sleep, and we've had a quick shower, a 14-hour flight, and we've had about 2 hours sleep all night. So this is the end of the second day with about 2 hours sleep, and we're not exactly feeling too bright, but we're very excited because
we're going to see our Portofino 52.
So the reason I'm telling you all that is that one of the Patreons actually said you should tell us the ups and downs and share not the struggles, but the rougher times. You do get really tired and worn out, and anyway, but that's just life. So we will catch up tonight, we hope. But right now we're feeling pretty.
Yeah.
But we are keeping going until we've seen the boat.
I know.
Okay,
very excited. Let's go.
Okay, so we are here at the Portofino yard, and our 52 is both of our boats. Our 52 is in the final stages of preparation before painting, which is very exciting. All the undercoats are on, all the layers. They've just got a few little touch-up places to do, things that they've done later have had to be touched up as well. So there's just a few small areas where the bog has to be fed in those areas. This is one of the anodes at the front. There's a few underwater lights as well, which is pretty exciting, and those have to be fed, and then the boat is going to be painted in the very near future. So this is very exciting. We are so desperate and so excited to see that Arctic blue metallic paint put on the boat. We thought it would be done by the time we got here this time, but it hasn't been. But it's almost going to be done, and the painting will probably start while we are here, but we probably won't be here to see it finished.
So why is the fairing taking so long?
When I built my 42-foot cat, the fairing took me 6 months in total. 3 months or 4 months to fair the outside, and this was solid fairing. Like, all I did for 6 months was fairing. So about 4 months on the outside of the boat and about 2 months on the inside of the boat. And so, like, because these are such big areas, and because you see the reflection of everything, you know, from the side of the boat, you can't, even if it's flat here, you can't have any waving or any irregularities along bigger lengths. So when you're doing the fairing, we had 3-person 3-meter boards that we fed the boat with, so any low areas would be fed out. And such a painful job, honestly. It's just horrible. Now that is the biggest disadvantage of painting a boat, painting an aluminium boat. Obviously, if you just use raw aluminium, you don't have to do that, so you save all that time, all that effort, and that cost. But the result, to me, aesthetically, is just so much better. I believe it does also protect the aluminium a bit, the result will be absolutely spectacular, and we can see that with the 47, but we are just waiting in anticipation for our paint to be done.
Just because it's an aluminium boat doesn't have to look like a tank, right?
That's right. Aluminium boats should look beautiful as well. They're now being made to look stylish. They don't have the old style tank look about them. They're very functional and very industrial, and they are very tough. This boat will be very tough, but it'll be very shiny and very beautiful. So that's probably the difference. This is where the anodes connect. So it's recessed and the anode will sit flush.
So when it's fed now, you can see the chine even more. The chine is this shape that goes from the bottom of the hull under the water area to up and then wider, because this is really functional. And this is one of the things that we really pushed Portofino to do, because this was what we had in the boat that John built, and it was just amazing. It gave you so much extra space above the waterline as the boat hull goes up. Instead of it going straight up, it actually goes out. It also helps for the buoyancy. So this helps to push the bow up if you're bearing the bow down into the waves. So this was a must for us. So from this point, it flares outwards, which gives you an amazing amount of space inside without affecting the performance, because that's still out of the water. The shape of this boat is just gorgeous. I mean, there's so many angles and lines that give it much more character than just like an aluminium tank. They've gone to great lengths to not only design it so it's absolutely functional, but also so it's aesthetically beautiful as well. Have a look at this. I love these cutbacks, and that just adds to the style of the whole boat. This cutback here will be black, or actually it'll be a charcoal color, and this will be the Arctic blue color. Beautiful contrast.
Those are the attachment points for the lifting platform. Drainage holes for the front cockpit. Escape hatch will be fixed.
She's looking like a boat. Okay guys, so we are in the stern cockpit and it's all been fed, ready to be top coated, and it's just lovely. It still is just gorgeous every time we come here and we see it. So this is pretty obvious. This is where the table's going to be, and the cushions are just about ready to be made. The one thing we really wanted was a day bed, but we wanted it under the shade because we're very conscious of the sun and how much time we spend out in the sun. So we wanted an under the shade day bed, which is going to be here, which will be awesome because we'll be able to lie together, read, snuggle,
sleep, eat,
sleep,
drink.
whatever we want to do. And it doubles for an extra bed, because if anyone wants to sleep out here at night time, they can. So this is going to be awesome. Out here is where our barbecue is going to be. We've got seats here, and then the barbecue is going to be here. So the barbecue is just on the edge of the ceiling here, so the smoke goes that way. This is seat, and the seat also, you can push the backrests forward or you can push them back depending on where you want to sit and look at. So if you want to sit this way, the backrests are this way. If you want to sit and the dive platform's down and we're all swimming out there having a lovely old time, we want to sit here looking out that way, we'll push the seats this way so we can sit this way and look at the view out there. So it's very cool. All this here, all this flooring is going to be cork. Now the corking has, the templates have already been done, and they've just got to then go and cut the templates out, and then they'll put the cork flooring down. So this is all that beautiful cork flooring. It'll be so insulating, it won't be hot. We've had experience with the flexi teak flooring, and honestly in the heat of the day you cannot just stand out there in bare feet. It's too hot. So we've gone for the cork flooring, and that will be done all up the side decks, up here, and also out the front cockpit. So that'll help insulate things and keep things really cool. Another stylish feature of Portofino are these supports here that are actually supports, but they've made them look interesting. These are actually going to be painted like a charcoal color to match everything else. The handholds will be covered with leather, which you can just undo as you need to replace them or wash them or get rid of them or whatever. So these are beautiful. They just look so stylish. If you're looking up, there's a channel that runs from one side of the boat all the way through, across the back, and then back return as well. So that channel is for our drop downs. Now our drop downs will consist of clear plastic as well as canvas for the sun as well. They'll roll up and they'll be push up flush, neat in that channel there. Everything's got its place. I love that. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's so many different shapes and angles in the Portofino. It just is so not a tank. So if you can see, this section here comes down quite low, which will be good because it'll be protected and shaded a bit more. But then there's a flare. As the roof goes up, there's this beautiful flare shape on the back of this roof. It just adds to the whole sexiness of the boat. It's amazing.
And I was looking up at the ceiling and wondering what these channels were for, all the way there and coming forward. There will also be ones on the mast is there. The lines come down from the mast and then they go into these grooves along there, nice fine angle, and then coming out to the steering station and helm position, which is up there. So they are carried under the deck so you don't trip over them, and out of the sun so they don't get sun damaged. And they'll also, and there's the other one carrying that back there. So 2 sets going each side of the mast, and then 1 set taking the lines from the spinnaker.
But I wasn't finished telling them about out here, and he whips you to another part of the boat.
I was excited.
But out here you can see we have storage out here. There's storage under all the seats here. But this storage is going to be my cooling area. We're going to have a little fridge and a compressor that's attached to the batteries, which is just in there. And it's going to be in here, so that extra space you need for drinks, for even keeping fruit and veggies cool when you're on a big crossing and things like that. You can turn it down or turn it up. That's going to be an area for storing cold stuff. And I really like the idea of when you're outside and you're having drinks and nibblies, just get your drinks from out here. There's no need for people to go into the fridge and keep opening the big fridge, because obviously that puts a load on the energy as well. So that's a really excellent idea that I'm very excited about. There's a big space in here. And some of our Portofino family have decided to put a fridge in here with an ice maker, a dedicated ice maker, because they love the whole idea of the fridge out here and the ice maker and everything. We won't have that. We're going to dedicate this to storage. There's one thing that is really annoying when you're liveaboard, and that is how junked up the back cockpits get with stuff, just stuff, you know. So we often have on our boats, we have a bag for hats and a bag or a box for shoes, and then there's, you know, something for sunscreen, and all of that mess that's normally kept under the table or just away from tripping over is going to have shelving in here. So the hats will be in there, the sunscreen will be in there, The shoes will be in there, and any sort of thing that you grab that you need on a regular basis, because on your way out, that's where it's going to go. I've had so many hats that have been destroyed and blow away because I haven't had an actual place to put them. So this is going to be great.
So you need a place for all those little things, little bits of rope, little halyards, little lines.
Even bungees. Bungees?
Yeah.
Things that you just want to grab that I can actually not bother him about, that I can just go and grab if I want to put something up. Or
yeah, and we haven't yet decided where we're going to put it, but that could be a place to put like an emergency grab bag, you know.
Yeah.
So we haven't worked that one out yet. We haven't got down to that detail, but this is a huge space, and that could easily store the grab bag in there. That's quite a big locker too, isn't it?
So that's going to be a great outside locker. So the more lockers you can have, the better it is, although it is a trap because you tend to fill them up. The other thing we're going to do out here is we're going to have a retractable clothesline. So we did have one on the 50 and they were amazing. So they're about this big on a rod like that.
Smaller. Yeah, probably.
And then it'll be attached to one end. You pull it across right over here. You pull it right across to the other side. You've got your clothesline that you can put your sheets up and all your towels and stuff, particularly when it's, you know, rain up day after day. And then you just pull it back in and it folds back in, rolls back into like a little box again. They're brilliant. And of course, where you're going to keep the pegs? In that cupboard.
Okay, so now walking into the saloon and nav station and galley.
Okay, so you've just walked through the big door opening, which is lovely. But what we love too, and it's a really nice feature, is this window here is going to be able to be lifted up. The whole of the window is going to be lifted up and connected to the ceiling out in the back cockpit. So you've got this whole area, and this here becomes a serving bar, and I'm very excited about that. So this becomes a serving bar because you're right here in the galley, and this window is going to be up, so you've got this nice serving bar that is going to be really cool. On the other side of this is where we're going to keep all our everyday stuff. Cups, plates, glasses, they're all going to go in here because we're going to be eating out there most of the time. The only time we really eat inside is when it's torrential rain or it's cold or it's blowing its guts out. So having this cabinet here for the day-to-day stuff that we use all the time, having the servery, being able to pass it out is just going to be awesome. I'm very excited about that. So as we speak, the furniture is being prepared and being made, and it is just a case of dropping it in when everything's ready. So that's going to take a couple of months because they're such perfectionists. These Italians, honestly, they're not prepared for close enough is good enough. It has to be top range, it has to be the best, which we are very thankful for because at the end of the day, if it takes a little bit more time, we'd rather that than end up with a dodgy product. Here is where our stand-up fridge is going to be. The fridge will come out to about here, and the tray section will be behind there. So everything tucked away. I'm one of these people that really like the boat as zen-ish as possible. So I like everything put away. You know, if I can get rid of stuff on bench tops, I'm a happy camper because it just looks so messy. And if you live in chaos, your brain is in chaos. So we want to make everything as zen-ish as possible. So the air cons are going to be tucked behind the fridge, so they'll be easy to access, and they'll have plenty of ventilation room for the fridge and the air con. So we're standing in the galley right here. There's going to be a bench all the way across here, and an island bench in the middle here. So it'll be really great because you'll be able to brace when things get a bit rough, but there's still plenty of room. So we're going to have hot plates, oven, dishwasher, because we're going to have plenty of power and we're going to have plenty of water. Sink as well. So up here you can see it's a huge space. In a boat you use as much space as you possibly can. But in saying that, you know what I'm like, I don't like stuff everywhere. So we're going to get them to put a rail across here to stop things from sliding that we put here. So whatever we put here has to be neat and you have to be able to reach from the bench over to it. So this end we're going to put a coffee machine. So the coffee machine is going to go about here, and we'll be able to access it easy. So when you come to visit us on the Portofino, we can make you a decent cup of coffee. How about that? Bread bin and that kind of thing will sit up here, but very neat and minimalistic. So wherever you are in the inside saloon galley area, you've got view, all this view coming forward. It's just awesome. So we've also got 2 hatches on either side of the hatch door. And this hatch door, I mean, this is just such a game changer when you've got a front cockpit. You know, it's amazing. If it's hot out the back and the sun's out the back, we go at the front, and vice versa. And it's great to be able to have a table out here because you can eat out here as well. This is just going to be great. Oh, there's a cabinet here. This section here, the top section, when you lift it up, it's going to be the charging station. So that was an absolute must for us because, again, you have wires and baskets and all sorts of things, and you can't find the right cord. And so everything is going to be hardwired, just like me. Little joke. Okay. So on this section here, this is the nav station. So this is going to be a great space too. The nav station, a big desk here. It's actually got a return. So there's a return here. This is support for the mast, okay? Right. The unit is here, and it will be in like the U section. Really important because you don't want to be outside when it's blowing its guts out in a storm and, you know, you're getting hammered. When you've got a steering station inside, all that's taken care of. You've got a great view and you can do it from the comfort of inside. We're going to have a tiller, so we're not going to have a big wheel in here. We're going to have a neat, minimalistic electric tiller right here. And I love that because, you know, we've been out in storms and all sorts of things, and I hate getting wet and cold. So here...
But you poor thing!
I know, I can
First
steer
world
the
problem.
boat. I know, but you know, I'm excited about this. So when you're designing all these things, you have to think about the practicalities of it. So if it's a desk here, you have to have it high enough or not deep enough underneath that you can get your legs underneath so that you can write or you can type comfortably. And enough desk space that it's not just a small little section you've got to put your iPad or whatever on there. It's a decent enough desk. It looks good on paper. You really got to drill down to find out if it's functional. And I know what you're thinking. It looks bad now, but basically when they come and they put the furniture in, it fills up this space. This floor is already ready to put the flooring down, but they don't want to do that because they're still kind of working, doing bits and pieces inside. And it's all going to come together all at once. First world problem. Any boat we've ever had, we've always had a garden. So that's sprouts, lettuce, herbs, all those kind of things that you can just use every single meal. And the dilemma for us is, originally we thought this area here, we'd have like a rail and we'd have our herbs and garden in this spot here. This one might be a better one. Remembering that the sofa is here. The sofa is going to be very plush, whitish, opulent, and we don't want dribbles of water or soil or mud running down here when we've overwatered the plants. So that's kind of the reason we thought, no, maybe not above the sofa. But again, we would have to have that little rail that anything we put up here doesn't fall down. So I'd be really interested as to what you think. Give us your comment. Any bright ideas of how we can put our herbs and where we can put them so that they create greenery, they're functional because we eat them all the time, and obviously where these windows are, they're going to get lots of lovely light. So the other option for our plants and our herbs is this large area here, which would be an option. The only thing is when you do get spray over the deck, it kills them. The salt water just annihilates them. So that's why we thought inside is better. So this is going to be our beautiful sofa. I can't wait. It's a U shape, so it comes out here, goes down here, and then there's a return here. We have a table in the middle that we'll be able to use as a coffee table, so bring it down, fold it up, make it smaller. or we can use it as a meal table, so we'll extend it out. But this area is going to be pretty lovely. And of course it can go down to into double beds, because when you're on passage, this is the best spot to be, or the second person on watch can sleep here. So this area here, from here, is like a little cabinet. Yeah, the aircon's behind, and then in front of that there'll be like some little nice shelving and, you know, stuff, book shelving or whatever. This here is our front cockpit. So one that was absolutely on our list. After we tried it out from the Leopards, we said we would never not have a front cockpit again. So this is it, Portofino style. There will be seats all around here and a table. The table will fold up, so you can either just have seats or you can have a meal out here or drinks and nibblies, whatever. Love this space. The flooring's going to be cork, so it'll be lovely and cool and insulated. And up here, one of my favorites is a day bed.
Another day bed?
It's another day bed, I know. This day bed is out in the full environment. There is shading from here, but this will be kind of one of those sunset beds where we're sitting, the sun's going down, we're having our drinks and our aperitifs, and we're just relaxing here on this day bed outside. So as you can see, we've tried to think of how many multifunctional things we can have in one boat that suits our lifestyle. Because some people might say, we don't like day beds, we don't use them. We do. These drains are the reason that this cockpit won't flood and it will drain very quickly, because they're massive drainage holes, and there's 4 of them. So if we get any water over the bow, they're going to drain through these holes. More storage underneath these seats. So this is a really good big outside storage spot. And this is the anchor locker. So as you can see, it's deep enough that the anchor, even if it castles, it's not going to jam. Okay guys, so we have our anchor winch here. The chain runs here and the anchor's there. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, what about when it's muddy and all that sort of thing? Portofino have designed sprays, so as the anchor is coming up, the chain and the anchor are being sprayed with either salt water or fresh water, whatever we want. So that kind of eliminates that whole mud coming up nonsense. So that will be great. But here, right here, this is our front ladder. So this is an amazing feature on the Portofino. This ladder, we're going to be able to plop it down and put it down into the water at the front. So instead of having to jump off the stern, which could be a difference between 10, 15 meters, 20 meters, who knows, you can just go down and swim from the steps. So that's going to be awesome. So of course people say, well, you could jump off the bow, but it's a little trickier trying to get up on the bow. So this is where these steps will really come in handy. So also when we're beached, because obviously the Portofino is designed to be beachable, which was a must. When we're beached, we can actually put the steps down and walk down from this area onto the beach. What do you think about that? I mean, that's so cool. Obviously we've got the big trampoline this side and a smaller trampoline over this side.
Okay guys, so I am on the bow of the boat here. The cross beam is at my feet. There's one end and there's the other end. There's the front of the prodder. This is the halyard attachment, and that is where the bowsprit, the hydraulic bowsprit, attaches. So it goes a further 2 meters out that way. Isn't that incredible extra sail area we're going to have? And obviously when it comes up, it'll come up to here and we'll be able to attach the sails right close to our bodies without us actually going past the front beam. And here's a demonstration of the hydraulic bowsprit being tested in the workshop. And as you can see, it's actually as tall as Ellie, but it will be easily handled from the front beam. We'll share more details about these amazing features in future episodes, so make sure that you subscribe, like, and ding the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these exciting videos.
So one of the unique features about the Portofino is its distinctive windows, which if you come down with me and have a look, they are slanted inwards rather than slanted outwards. Now this protects the inside from glare and from heat. You've still got an overhang, so it's still gonna be in the shade a lot of the time. But this is just gonna be amazing, so that when you're at the nav station and the sun is shining, you're not gonna get the glare on your instruments like you normally do when the window's straight down. I just love this design.
Okay, so the other thing is, obviously this is the saloon deck. You can see the holes that are drilled along the deck there, and that is for the self-tacking jib track, which will be great. And just behind that is the mast base, and you can see where the mast is, there is a hole in the middle. Now that is specifically so all the electrical cables from the top of the mast or halfway up the mast, like radar, etc., can go down through the middle of the mast. Most other boats have the lines coming out just a few inches above the deck and then go into this metal ziggy-zaggy shaped thing which you trip over and kick your toe on. Ours will go right through the middle down into the saloon below and be fed out from there. So much neater, much safer, and they'll be able to be detached if we want to, or when we need to take the mast off.
Steps are a new addition. So these steps here are going to help us get up to the top deck if we have to do anything up on the top deck. So here is a foothold, and then we're going to have a handhold up here as well. So the top of the roof is going to be painted anti-slip. We've gone the hardest core anti-slip we can, and also our solar panels will go up there as well. So guys, here we are at the helm station, and there's already provisions for our winches. So there's 3 channels. We're having lines come to this one, lines coming through this one, and lines coming through this one as well. So as John showed you underneath where they all run.
1 winch, 2 winch, 3 winches, cleats, cleats, cleats.
So we have like a perspex screen that we can lift up and attach. When there's storms and it's raining so hard or hailing so hard, it's in your eyes and you can't even see, that's really dangerous. So we're not having that again.
So one of the unique features about Portofino is that we are able to lift our engines out using this large opening hatch and the boom with a main sheet or a pulley. So we lift this big section out and the engine is directly below. So this means we can remove the engine if we are in Outer Mongolia, Tahiti, Polynesia, places that don't have any proper lift out facilities. We can go alongside a pontoon, lift the engine up with the boom, rotate it outwards and sling it on the pontoon beside the boat and completely change engines if we ever have to. Now, hopefully we never will, but you know, these things can occur. So that is one of the other unique features that Portofino put into the boats, and it's the same on the other side. So quite amazing. Obviously this is our little hatch which can be opened easily for ventilation, but this one, the larger area, will be sealed with silicone. So we just take a knife to the silicone and lift that larger one out when we ever need to remove the engine. I'm going to cover the hole so nobody falls down and
Health and safety.
Scratches their leg like that.
No one would do that.
Nobody would ever do that, would they?
That'd be silly.
No.
Look how much space is in this back section here. I mean, you could throw a couple of bean bags here and, you know, camp out here.
Or big game fishing.
Yeah, big game. There's actually going to be like a rail here going across so no one falls over the transom wing doors, which are a Portofino feature as well. They're absolutely beautiful. And then you're able to fold it to go downstairs to the next level. As you can see, there is too much to cover in one episode, so don't forget to join us for upcoming episodes where we'll be deep diving into the systems and design innovations that make this such an exciting build. More to come. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and thanks to our awesome Patreons whose money helps us save lives around the world. Please make sure you subscribe and ding the bell so you don't miss out on any of the exciting upcoming episodes. Hold on to your dreams because like the wind in the sails, they propel you towards endless possibilities.